我非要买车，谁结婚不买辆车呀？我非要买车，你这话说的，人家结婚哪？
This is not just an argument. It's a battle of pride, face, and materialism on the wedding day. From the very beginning, the bride insists, I must buy a car. Who gets married without one? To her, a wedding without a luxury car isn't a wedding at all, it's humiliation. She worries more about face in front of relatives than the reality of their financial situation. The groom, on the other hand, is stunned. He reminds her that he has already given everything, the betrothal gift of 188,000 yuan, even his own savings. His voice shows both frustration and disappointment. Haven't I done enough? Didn't I pay everything already? And now, on the wedding day, you demand a Porsche. Notice the power struggle here. The bride sees the car as a symbol of status. Without it, she believes people will laugh at her. But the groom sees it as unrealistic and unfair pressure. He knows that buying such an expensive car out of nowhere is impossible. Relatives try to step in, even offering a small car as a solution, but the bride rejects it outright. Your little broken car? While you drive a Mercedes. No way! This shows her mindset. She doesn't want practicality. She wants luxury, no matter the cost. Finally, the climax. The bride declares, without this car, the wedding won't happen. This ultimatum exposes the marriage as conditional, not built on love, but on material demands. The groom's final response is telling. He gives up, saying, Fine, do whatever you want. I'm leaving. It's not just about the car anymore. It's about respect, trust, and the foundation of the marriage.
Why has modern marriage gradually turned into a tool for some women to frantically chase money? More and more, we're seeing families treat marriage as a way to cash in on the groom's side. And if this twisted mindset isn't corrected, the result is obvious. More and more men will simply choose to stay single to protect themselves. This isn't fear-mongering. The falling marriage rate and the rising divorce rate are solid proof. Think about it. Families who demand sky-high bride prices almost never mention dowries of equal value. By dowry, I mean real assets or money equivalent to what the groom's side pays. Why is it always one-sided? Because the aim is simple: squeeze the man's family dry. Then there are brides who cry out for a house and a car before marriage, while they themselves bring nothing but a suitcase.
Why?
Marriage is supposed to be a partnership of value and responsibility. Why should men shoulder massive financial burdens while women contribute nothing? Don't we all say marriage should be built on equality? If so, why are some women still acting like they're above the very concept of fairness? If you want to be seen as an independent, modern woman, then why go silent when it comes to offering a dowry or contributing equally? Even worse, some families force the groom to spend hundreds of thousands on a grand wedding. The marriage begins with debt. How can happiness grow from that? A marriage built purely on money starts with greed, and greed is bottomless. The end is predictable. Countless cases of women despising their husbands for not being capable enough or not giving them the happiness they demand, and then walking away. Statistics don't lie. 70% of divorces in China are initiated by women. I'm not here to insult or attack. As a matchmaker with 5 years of experience, I simply want to remind people, if you truly want happiness, stop calculating so much. If you want a house or car, build it together. If you want wealth, bring an equal dowry. Real happiness comes only from sincerity, mutual giving, and shared growth. Let's talk about something uncomfortable but real: the women who marry for money. Did they truly win in life, or was it an illusion that quickly shattered? From countless stories and cases, the truth is simple. Money cannot replace love or responsibility. First, when love is traded for money, it never lasts. At the beginning, a woman may think, as long as he provides financially, I can tolerate the rest. But sooner or later, cracks appear. The man calls her materialistic, his parents accuse her of being a gold digger, and when she's struggling through pregnancy or raising children, she's reminded cruelly, you only came for the money. That kind of humiliation leaves her with nothing, Neither love nor money. Second, balance matters. A marriage without financial planning is foolish, but one based only on money is poisonous. Marriage is like running a company. Money is the electricity and water bills, but love is the profit. I've seen couples who clearly discussed finances before marriage, how to repay loans, how to save for children. Years later, they are still holding hands, raising kids with stability. On the other hand, women who married into wealth often live under constant scrutiny, treated like spendthrifts for every small purchase. Being a rich wife often feels worse than being a maid. Finally, money can't buy responsibility. Look at the mothers crying in silence while feeding babies at night, while their husbands dismiss them with, "It's not that hard." No amount of money can warm a cold bed. A man who may not be rich, but is willing to fight for you is worth far more. In marriage, money might be the ticket, but love and responsibility will always be the lifeboat.
One of the most debated questions among young people today is this: should a woman be willing to suffer hardships with a man? For many women, the answer is a clear no. They believe that life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. Why should a woman struggle alongside a man who has no stability, no ambition, and no financial foundation? Some say bluntly, love alone is not enough. If you can't provide, why should I waste my best years waiting for your future promises? There is also a fear that even if a woman sacrifices and supports a man during his toughest years, there's no guarantee he will stay loyal. As the saying goes, when a man is poor, it tests the wife, but when he is rich, it tests the husband. Many women worry that once he achieves success, the first person he leaves behind will be the very woman who helped him through his struggles. Others add another perspective. It's not the hardship itself that scares women. It's the possibility of suffering for nothing. What if she sacrifices, waits, and works hard with him, only to find out he still lacks ambition, still makes excuses, and never truly improves his life? In that case, her sacrifices would only lead to disappointment. Of course, not every woman thinks this way. Some still believe in love above all else. They say, "I don't care if we're riding a bicycle instead of driving a car. As long as we are happy and he truly loves me, I can endure the struggles." These women argue that many girls talk about wanting a rich man only because they haven't yet experienced true love. When genuine love comes, sacrifice feels easier. But in the end, this debate highlights a deeper truth. Women are not rejecting love. They are rejecting betrayal, wasted years, and broken promises. The real question is not whether a woman will stay during the hard times, but whether a man can remain loyal, responsible, and committed when success finally arrives.
Today, let's talk about a truth that many poor girls rarely dare to say out loud. Marriage is not an escape from hardship. I am the perfect example of this. I'm nearly 27, with a shaky job and a salary that only just covers my own needs. I have no savings, no financial support from my family, and no clear direction in life. 4 years. My efforts have been inconsistent, and the results have been disappointing. Yet my relatives keep pushing me to marry. They say, "You're getting old, find a good man before it's too late." Once you're married, your life will be brighter. But deep down, I know that isn't true. Marriage won't magically solve my problems. In fact, it could easily make them worse. If I marry someone at my level, his job might be a little more stable, his family slightly better off. Within a year, children would come, and my fragile job would likely be gone. If his parents could help raise the baby, life might be easier. But if they couldn't, the burden would all fall on me. Let's be realistic. One man's salary at this level can hardly support a family of 3. If his parents also lack pensions or stable income, our lives would be painfully tight. I'd be forced to juggle child raising with a low-paying job just to keep food on the table. And after marriage, I wouldn't only face financial struggles, I'd also face conflicts with in-laws, an absent or passive husband, and no strong support from my own parents. This is a reality for many poor women. Toxic family dynamics, children needing constant care, endless financial stress, and no freedom even to collapse. The only reason such marriages continue is because women learn to endure more, lower their standards, and accept more pain. So here's the hard truth. Don't marry just to escape loneliness or hardship. Those struggles are nothing compared to what awaits in a difficult marriage. If you were lucky enough to marry into wealth and kindness, you wouldn't be called a poor girl in the first place. Marriage should never be a passive compromise. It should be a choice made from strength, when you already stand on your own feet.